Hey guys, what's going on? This is GD O'Reilly, or The Dark Room on Instagram, and today I'm going to be talking about the Chinese cinema camera company Kinefinity, some of my thoughts on them, and their new Mavo Edge 8K camera announcement. So to start with, Kinefinity is a fairly new camera company. They started in the late 2010s, and they've released quite a few cameras at this point. Their current lineup is 4 cameras. The new Mavo 8K LF, they've got a Mavo 6K full frame and a 6K, which is Super 35, and then they've got a Terra 4K. So the 3 ones that are currently out all share the same modular system, like a red, so you can go from just a brain and a lens mount with external power to adding on a grip, a top handle, a big extension to add XLR in, SDI out, stuff like that. So they're built a lot like a red. They've basically taken what used to be add-ons and combined it all into a body, all into the primary body. So the primary body is about as long as it looks like as the standard body that they had, plus their Kineback W. No, Kineback. The W is a mini version with just a battery plate on it. So Kinefinity is known for doing high resolution at high frame rates. So their new large format does 8K to 75 frames a second at 8K in ProRes or RAW. And we're not talking like ProRes 422, we're talking 444 XQ. So 444 4444 XQ quality. The shots look amazing. They are a cinema camera, so you got no autofocus, stuff like that. They're super power efficient cameras, at least the current 3 that are out. They sit power. You can run typically a 90-watt battery would run for, I think, close to an entire day shoot. That's like a 6 hours or something on that. So yeah, they're super power efficient. They just kind of sit power. They do high frame rates at high resolutions. They've got a modular lens mount system. So on the ones that are, so on the non-full frame ones, you can even put in like speed boosters, so like the Metabones speed booster idea, but it's built into the lens mount. So there's EF with a speed booster, so it widens the image and increases light, while giving you the electronic control. They have that. They have PL mounts. They've got a manual E-mount, so if you wanted to use, like, not photo E-mount class, but cinema E-mount class, you could do that. So they're an interesting company. I'm going to start with some of my big issues, at least currently. Number one, they still don't have a U.S. distributor. They have been talking about for over a couple of years trying to get a U.S. distributor, and they still haven't found one. They have one in Europe now, which means if you're in Asia or if you're in Europe, you're probably all set, and you can find a local dealer who can supply it. And they also have a dealer in the UK, so you can get support repaired, all that locally. Here in the U.S., there isn't no U.S. dealer yet. So that's one of my big gripes. I know they're working on it. My other is price. So the Terra 4K, their entry level, is $3,500 for just a body. By the time you add on the lens mount, their basic package, which is like a handheld package for that, it's a side grip with integrated like Sony NP style batteries, and a recording drive. These do not use proprietary SSDs, which is really nice to see, but you're probably going to need something like an 850 Pro, a high performance SSD that doesn't have issues over getting write speed slowdowns as it fills up. Yeah, so by the time you put like their basic kit, which is a monitor, a power system, a grip, a storage drive, and a lens mount, you're looking at $5,500 to $6,000, which, while not bad for a 4K camera, is a lot considering you've got super budget options like the you do have the Canon C200 and C200B in that price range, and the C200 just got a price drop. It looks like possibly permanently to $4,000. Yeah, $4,000. Yes, $4,000. Double checking. And then you've got Pocket 4K, Pocket 6K are also there. So Kinefinity to me is in a bit of a weird spot. They're arguably a little bit too new, and they still don't have a US distributor. So I'm hesitant to recommend, and I certainly can't try one. I want to try a Terra 4K, which would probably be the camera I'd be after buying. I'd love to try one, but I can't. So I was looking actually at the Europe distributor, or one of their European distributors right now, and they've got a used Terra 4K with a lens mount, basically their basic kit, for $3,500 USD, and that's a pretty good deal. If they started offering more used and refurbished, I don't know how many they're making. And I know their early pre-2018 editions had issues with weird lens flares on their Terra 4 and 6K. They had weird lens flare issues from a bad, or maybe not quite as good of a front filter in front of the sensor as it could be. They look beautiful, but they're just not. They're too new of a company to me to be charging quite as much as they do. Maybe if the Terra 4K got dropped down to $3,000 and the base kind of and a ready to go package properly with the lens mount was I'd say 4.5 is probably would be where I'd put it, because you're fighting cameras like the C200. Yes, the C200 doesn't output the world's most beautiful footage, but it's a camera that in 10 years someone will still want to buy. So I'm going to talk about one of the things I'm really happy to see with Kinefinity, which is they actually update and roll out new firmware. Even their older cameras, so all the Terras, the Terra 4 and 6K, have gotten higher frame rates, better codecs. So they started out with ProRes, 422 and 422 HQ and that stuff, and they're about to get 4444 XQ, which is good to see. Kinefinity is properly supporting high-end codecs and putting the effort towards making that happen, which is great to see. I'm super happy that they don't use proprietary media. You can buy theirs. They charge you $1,000 for a 1 terabyte SSD, when probably in Samsung 850 Pro or 860 Pro 1 terabyte is, I want to say, somewhere between $200 and $300. And that's like a high-end Samsung drive, and those shouldn't have any issues. I haven't personally tested, but those shouldn't have any issues, given that those are well regarded on Blackmagic cameras as being capable of easily recording at high frame rates, high resolution. I'm happy to see them use standard batteries. They're not doing something stupid around batteries. You can use V-mounts if you have the Kineback or the Kineback W. Otherwise you can use Sony batteries. But arguably, Kineback's battery deal is a pretty good deal. If you're using their side grip, 2 batteries and a charger is $200, which for this size of batteries isn't a bad deal. They're not outlandish, and their V-mounts are actually really reasonable. I think it was a 275 watt-hour V-mounts and a charger, I want to say was 350. Maybe the 150 watts were $500, something like that. So some of their accessories, most of their accessories are fairly reasonable. I think their monitors are a little pricey for a 5-inch non-touchscreen monitor. They want $500 for, and of course they've got the usual trope where, hey, you want a cable for it? The cable's $100. Like, there's no reason your cable should be $100. Yes, it is nice that it powers and outputs display over a single cable, but $100 for a short cable with 7 wires through it? That's ridiculous. But you know, Canon Red do it too. So my final thought is it fair to compare this to, say, something like a Pocket 4 and 6K? I would say yes. They're arguably in the same kind of realm of high quality codecs. Neither one of them are quite as modular as the Kinefinity cameras, but at a lower price point, they start with more included stuff. For the Kinefinities, their current 3, not for their new 8K full frame, but for their current 3, the Terra and the Mavo 6K and 6K full frame, you've just spent $1,500 to get dual phantom power, dual SDI, and a V-mount attachment. I mean, it's weird. They're reasonable on some stuff, and then others they're not. They're plain, you want to attach a V-mount battery, that's it. It's $400. Like, I could buy the side grip, or, well, in most cases you get the side grip included in a package with a set of batteries for $600. So you could likely buy, I think you can buy the side grip with 4 batteries and 2 chargers for the same price as you can get just the battery back with 2 75 watt hours V-mounts, which gives you less capacity. But I guess then you don't have to swap batteries quite as often. So my final thoughts on Kinefinity. I want to see them come to the US with a US distributor and a US rental house so that I can try them, and that others can try them. We can get more reviews out, because there's been only a few for US based reviewers. I want to see them continue their push towards making kind of budget, not really, but affordable cinema cameras with great image quality, and continuing to march that while not screwing people over with stupid, overly expensive mags. Red. I mean, Kinefinity uses standard SSDs, and their new camera records to M.2 SSDs that you can buy enclosures for and put your own in, which is great. You know, what a concept. I shouldn't be paying $3,000 for a 1 terabyte SSD. I'm not trying to bash on Kinefinity or anything. I want to see them succeed. I want to see them become a worldwide major brand like Blackmagic, who came in and disrupted the industry, like Red disrupted the industry. I want to see them come in and properly challenge the big players and make a camera that can both compete and can get the support worldwide that it needs. So that's about it from me for today. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. The other button seems to work okay. Get subscribed if you guys want to see more content from me. I'll catch you guys in the next one.